Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I am Jason Laporte. Back again, as always, my co-host, Zach Partridge.
I got to give a little shout out to one of my sponsors.
Shout him out, baby.
Restore with the cryo and health wellness. My legs are still cold.
I've never done that before. Wait, let's backtrack. So you did that, but you won't do the ice bath?
Yeah, that's only 3 minutes. They make you stick in that ice bath forever.
7 minutes.
Yeah, forget that. 3 minutes is enough. Trust me. My nipples are frozen.
I want to try it. I've never done it before.
So up through Saturday, though, they are selling for only $10 cryo sessions. So you can buy one session for $10, or you can buy like a 20 punch pass for $10, and there's no limit. So you can buy as many sessions as you want for $10.
Wow.
But the deal runs through Saturday. But they're sponsoring for this fight. They sponsor Trevor Bradshaw. Very cool place to do the compression recovery.
Compression sleeves. Those are
awesome.
Compression
sleeves on your legs. IV drips. They do a lot of stuff. But the Cryo, man, Cryo Pro, negative 220 degrees for 3 minutes.
And it burns how many calories?
Over 600 calories in 3 minutes your body burns. It's so crazy.
It's pretty impressive.
And they take your temperature, like your body temperature, Yeah. And it's like, I was like 84 degrees or whatever, my body temperature, like on the outside. After 3 minutes, 48 degrees on my leg.
That's crazy.
It's so nuts.
I need to try it. I'm going to have to come up there and try it.
Come up here and try it with me.
I will. Maybe next week we'll have to plan it and go in there and check it out. I don't know if I'll be able to get up there before Saturday.
Yeah.
So we just got through recording a pretty fun podcast with one of the fighters fighting in November. An entertaining podcast, I should say.
Jerome Hatch.
Jerome, it was a good one. That was fun.
He's a character, man. That's gonna be a good. That's a good fight. Him and Zach that's a good fight.
Yeah, I mean he's an old school throwback guy, and he obviously fights anybody, anytime. Which I know I said it on that other podcast before, but I think it's pretty cool to hear the mindset of those guys that used to fight back in the day like that, like the Razor Sharps and the Jerome Hatch. Like you kind of see a different mindset with those guys. They're just Eric Munoz, who we had on there. He's another guy. Like, these guys are just old school. They just want to fight. That's it.
And yeah, you're right. They do just want to fight, but it's different. It's a dying breed. Those guys are not getting started in MMA anymore.
No, definitely not. Well, they came up when it was fairly new, especially here in Utah. It wasn't as big as it is now. And yeah, and you're definitely seeing a shift in that. You don't see it as much. I mean, just look at the difference between him and Big Zack and him. You know what I mean? Like,
well, and yeah, take a look at the difference. And I'm watching Jerome Hatch's fight with Casey Uscola right now. It's on Facebook or it's on Instagram. And he throws bombs. Jerome throws bombs.
Yeah.
And he throws everything with bad intentions, and
it'll be an interesting fight.
Yeah. It's a good fight.
Speaking of interesting fights, UFC 254 is upon us.
Got some hot takes.
You know what? If Khabib wins, I'm going to go buy one of those hair things.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to wear it. If he wins on Monday, I'm going to be wearing it. And then you can wear your little freaking Khabib and bring your crystal ball if Gaethje wins.
When Justin Gaethje shocks the world.
You know what? I told you yesterday when we talked about this, I'm one of those guys that I always try to look for how the other guy can win. And I'm not betting on that fight. I'm not betting on it because I think
there's no value betting in it. So
if I'm betting on Justin.
Right. Well, the other thing is what do you feel? How do you feel the co-main event goes? Because if you feel very strongly about another fight that's a pretty close fight, and you want to parlay that with Khabib to get a little bit better payout, that's not a bad betting strategy if you're convinced Khabib is going to win.
I I mean, I don't know if I'm convinced. I mean, I think he's going to win, but
I sense some doubt from where you have been.
I just, I mean, I'm there, but I always try to look at. I mean, I like Justin. I've listened to his interviews. I really like what he's saying. But then
I like
again,
both guys. I mean, everything aside, I like Khabib.
I mean,
you have to be able to appreciate his dominance.
Talk about a different guy. He won't even say Conor McGregor's name. He was getting pissed at Cormier in that video that I posted on Twitter. He won't even say his name. Like, I mean, that's a different mentality. Like yeah. And I love when he's talking trash and Conor's like, oh, it's all business. You know, he says back to him, it's like, no.
Well, it is.
Well, it is to Conor, but he crossed the line with Khabib, and it was personal for Khabib because of how he was raised and where he was from. And yeah,
people need to understand there's something that I think in general, and this is a principle in life that I feel like a lot of people don't understand. And it's hard. I mean, I feel like I understand the principle, but it's still hard sometimes. It is more about how the person perceives it rather than what your intent is.
Yeah.
Right. Conor can say and do all of his stuff that he wants with everybody because it's business. It's not personal.
Yeah.
He tries to make it look and feel personal. He does go right up to the line sometimes and steps over it. I would say he stepped over the line a few times with Jose Aldo.
But he's corrected it though. Now you don't see him doing that.
Not as much.
Yeah.
It was with Cerrone, right? It was with Cerrone.
He took a different approach, which I think brought a lot of people back. The people that were like, dude, Conor's a douchebag. It brought a lot of those people back. That was smart.
I mean, super smart. We'll see. We'll see if it lasts. Okay.
Look at Hulk Hogan. Look at Hulk Hogan. He was the man, and then he turned into the heel.
Yeah, but he's still the man forever.
Because he's Hulk Hogan.
But what I'm saying, but again, is the perception, and everybody can get over it. He said all the stuff about Chad Mendez. They had a nice moment in the cage after. He said, that Donald.
He's always been respectable after, regardless of what he said. He's always win or lost has been super. I mean, he even tried to with Khabib. It's just,
but Khabib,
Khabib is he's not.
That's different. It's different.
He's not from here. He doesn't think like we think. Like he's just a different mindset.
It's it's Dagestan. That's that Russian mentality.
Did you hear Javier Mendez commented a little bit on it of how it could be a little bit difficult, because his dad has always been there, and his dad is the one that pushes him, and he pushes him hard. Cormier said the same thing. Cormier's like, his dad had grabbed him one time when they were training. And he's like, he's not just grabbing me to play around. He's trying to win. Like even in practice, like he's like, oh, whoa, like this guy's not like joking around. And
Khabib's dad grabbed DC?
Grabbed DC to just, how they mess around with each other. And he's like, no, his dad was trying to win. Like, and he's instilled that in Khabib. And I like the buildup of how Khabib learned English, because one of his first things was for him to talk shit. That's the only English he knew for a while, was talking trash in the cage.
Really?
Yeah. They talked about it on the video I tweeted, but
I'll watch it. I'm gonna have to watch it.
It's interesting to see how, he came over here, didn't learn any English, and, DC's, throwing jabs and they're all teasing him. And so that's what he learned, was his first thing, was how to talk trash.
Jaden Marshall is still talking smack about the Lions.
You little shit. Oh, I see him.
Jaden.
I see him now. There he goes.
Hey, Jaden. I'm going to invite you again to One Hit. Saturday morning is open mat at 10 a.m. We're going to roll.
Bring your brother up there too. You guys need to get back in the cage. You guys need to get back in the cage is what you need to do.
So
my man, check out my man from across the pond. James, what's up, lad?
What's up, James?
My man.
You can't say lad.
I don't sound right saying it.
No, you can't.
I'm trying to bond with my brother from across the pond. Where are we going to start at? Where do you want to start? The first fight of the night?
Sure, because we're going to argue about Justin and Gaethje eventually. So
I think we got a couple on there that we're going to argue.
By the way, shout out to Keith out in Tooele. He's on the Justin train too.
Keith. I don't know about you, Keith.
Something in the water out there.
D, come on, man.
Gosh,
We don't like
dang it. I don't want to hear this.
Damn Packers fans.
Hey, Packers. How was that whooping y'all took last week?
My wife
38 to 10 from the 49ers. You like that? You like that?
How about Joel Alvarez and Yakovlev?
So I like Joel Alvarez. This is not a fight that I'm putting money on, but I like Alvarez.
I think what stands out to me in this one is these guys are both over 6 feet tall for the welterweight division. They're big welterweights.
Big tall dudes. Yep.
Yeah, I want to say Alvarez is like 6'3", 170. That's a big 170 here.
That's crazy. Yakovlev, he's a seasoned veteran. Whatever. You could think it's a fluke. You're right. It probably is a fluke, but it was nice to see Aaron Rodgers suck for a week, just so you know.
Yeah. But
screwed my fantasy team. Thanks, Aaron Rodgers.
Yakovlev does have a good ground game.
Yeah, no, they both do.
Yeah, they both. Is it safe to say it maybe goes to decision, or does somebody sneak in a sub on this one?
I could see a submission, but I definitely could see a decision. Whoever can stay on top. Miranda Maverick, I feel like that's pretty well. That's going to happen. I think she wins. I think she's.
You think she's dominant?
She's a big favorite, and she's a big favorite for a reason.
I definitely like Miranda Maverick. If I'm betting on that one, but don't sleep on that Joanna chick. Like she's a BJJ black belt. 6 out of her 8 wins. 6 out of her 8 wins have been by submission. Like she's no slouch on the ground. So
and for the people that don't know, like if you're trying to bet on MMA, like you got to find the value there too. And if you have an underdog that's a BJJ black belt that's capable, oh my gosh, Chicago, what is going on here?
These damn Bears fans and freaking Packer fans and
what? Can we just talk MMA, please?
We're gonna have to do another podcast on football, I think.
Yeah, maybe. That's what we need is more podcasts.
Here, we got a good one. My man George. Simplify, George.
Smash.
What do we got next? What's up? So we both like Maverick on that one, right?
Yeah, but I wonder what the odds are going to be for Joe Juan to like win by submission. Like if you get you might get like 15 to 1 odds on that, and she's a legit BJJ black belt.
Well, and yeah, she's legit, and Maverick didn't look that good in her last fight with Pearl Gonzalez. Like she dominated the first round, and then she got put in some bad situations in the second round, and she's not going to be able to do that with Joanna.
But she is significantly bigger, right?
Yes.
Miranda is.
Yes.
So
I think Maverick's the pick. We don't need to spend too much time on that one.
I'm just pointing out there could be an opportunity there for.
For sure, for a submission by Liana.
Yeah. Maybe put a couple bucks to win like 150 or something like that. I don't know. Sam Alvey is he's a big underdog, and I don't want to bet against him, but I just don't see a path to victory for him.
Yeah, he's always had trouble with athletic guys, and Jung could
Dan Jung.
But they are light heavyweights. Anything could happen. Alvey.
Yeah, I think it's a fun fight. I think Sam Alvey's it's fun. He had a couple knockouts 3 and 4 fights ago, but he's pretty durable too. Like,
so we're both on Jung.
Yeah, we agree on that. Probably by knockout, my guess.
I think so too. I'm confident in that one. Next up, we got Shavkat Rakhmonov and Alex the Cowboy Oliveira.
I really can't believe that you've talked me into betting against Cowboy. But
you know what? I was reading Sherdog's breakdown on there because I like to see, and they're all over Oliveira on this one.
He's so good, dude. He's so good, and he's been around so long, and he's durable, and he's tough, and he's all this, and he's all that, and he's a complete fighter, and it doesn't matter, ground, standing, clinch, whatever. He can do it everywhere. But you got me all on Rachmanov.
He is on a two fight win streak too.
Yeah.
He just beat Max Griffin and Peter Sabata. Like I watched the tape on that kid. He's bigger. He's more athletic. I like his confidence.
How can you not like Alex Oliveira's confidence calling out Chimaev?
I do.
Only took 15 minutes and 20 seconds for me to bring up Chimaev on this one.
And another thing I like about this Shavkat is you're starting to see these guys from over in that area. He's from Kakistan.
Number one guy from Pakistan. Yeah.
So you're starting to see a lot of these guys that we don't really know very much about coming over here that have, I mean, he's not fighting slouches over there in M1. The last guy he fought was 28-6. And I mean, I'm not going to say these guys are UFC caliber, but I mean, he's fighting a guy that's 28-6. His the win before that, 11-3, 10-4, 7-1, 5-2. He's fighting good guys, and he's not. And 12-0 with 12 finishes. I just think I think he gets it done. And he was the underdog. And what did I tell you when I texted you on Monday? He's going to be the favorite, and it shifted. He's the favorite now.
The money's coming in on his side.
I think people are seeing the same thing I did. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I'll eat crow on Monday, but I just think he gets it done.
All right.
What do we got next?
Okay.
You know, if I was always right, I'd be a millionaire right now.
Craig, he's got 4 losses in a row. I know.
So, Craig, I'm going back to Michigan for Christmas to see my family, and Craig's trying to get me to go to the club in Flint.
Do it.
No. Do you know how bad I'm going to stick out at a freaking club in Flint, Michigan?
Like a white guy?
Like a tatted up white guy? Like, it's not going to be a good look on the north side of Flint, Michigan.
I was going to make a joke, but I'll pass.
Yeah. Craig knows what I'm talking about. What do we got up next?
We got Wood versus Casey Kenny.
Fight of the night?
Yeah, I think this is another good fight. I think this is a stay away for me as far as putting any money on it. But Casey Kenny, I like Casey Kenny's wrestling to get the job done in this.
He's got a quick turnaround in this one, too, because he just fought back in 2 weeks ago.
But young fighters, I like that. He's active. He's hungry. He's riding a good momentum wave. Like, didn't take any damage in his last fight.
None. He dished out a lot of damage.
Yeah, let him continue on that wave of energy.
I do like him being the better wrestler. I think Wood slight edge on their feet.
I think it's more than a slight. I think Wood's a really. I mean, I think he's he looks good, but we know as long.
How bad does this turnaround affect Casey Kenny? Because he just fought 2 weeks ago.
He's a young kid. I don't know how big of a weight cut he takes, but it doesn't look like it's like a crazy drastic one.
Yeah, I just didn't know, like, mentally, going in there, fighting a 3-round fight, and then jumping right back in and fighting another fight.
What's George talking about? What sounds bad?
I don't know. I don't know what he's talking about. Craig sticks out too, yeah. You've been there. You've been there your whole life. I moved out to Utah. Doesn't count.
You know what, Craig? I'll come with you, bro. How about a ginger white boy with no tattoos?
With the comb over?
With the comb over.
Oh, man. What do we got next? Next up, Steven Struve, Tai Tuivasa. I mean, these guys are fighting to stay in the UFC, I think, and I don't see either one of them doing anything, even if they win. Do you?
I still like Tai.
I do too. I think Tai wins. Struve I read a bunch of stuff and his jiu-jitsu, but he never uses it. He doesn't have a chin. He gets taken down. He doesn't use his length. Like,
he's 7 feet tall.
Yeah, he doesn't use it.
It's not really, but he's easy to take down.
Yeah,
but Ty's not going to take him down either.
No.
That's what I love about Bam Bam, though. No, but I actually think so. I think Tai Tuivasa is this next generation's Mark Hunt.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle with some stuff. He's never going to really develop much of a ground game. He's always going to be a sprawl and brawl guy. Probably never climb up to UFC gold, but I think Tai will settle in and be like a 6 to 11 heavyweight forever.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I don't ever see him winning the belt, but he could be up there. Yeah. Tai Tuivasa, that's the pick on that one. I like that one. Next one, we've been waiting for this one for how many months now? It's been rescheduled like 4 times.
Yep.
Magomed Ankalaev and Ian Kutalaba.
Yeah, we disagreed on this one a little bit when we did our breakdown yesterday.
Yeah, I'm all over Ankalaev. I think he finishes him.
He gets a lock. Like, you feel really good about that? Like, we're going to put some money on that?
I feel really good that he finishes the fight. I think he's just the better all around. And I'm not, I get I see where you're coming from. They're light heavyweights. Kutalaba, he has the power to turn the light.
It's not the power, right? Like, they're 205ers, like you said, like they all have the power. He's a berserker.
Yes.
Like, he's a crazy person. And then they're saying, like competition level and stuff like that. I mean, I think Kutalaba holding a win over Khalil Roundtree, that speaks volumes to me. I think highly of Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah. I'm sticking with my pick, man. I think he finishes it, and I don't think it'll be first round. I think second round stoppage.
And he'll actually knock him out this time.
I think he actually knocks him out this time. Yeah.
Okay.
Because even though we talked about it yesterday, and I don't think he was. I know he was playing possum, but I think he had his bell rung a little bit.
I don't think he did it.
I definitely don't think it should have been stopped. I'm not saying he was like.
Well, you play stupid games, get stupid consequences, right?
Yes.
And, I mean, that was 100%. It was a little fool. What he was doing was foolish. It was a little foolish, right?
Yeah, it wasn't very smart for him to do that.
And honestly, you can't really blame the ref that bad.
No, not at all. No. I mean, obviously, from us watching, from home, sitting on our couch, it looked like, oh man, you shouldn't stop. But dude, live when it's like that, and he did take a couple shots clean. You gotta stop it. Like,
yeah.
Next up, we have Lauren Murphy taking on another UFC newcomer, Shakarova. Don't know much about her. I watched a little bit of her tapes. I just think Lauren Murphy's going to be too much for her. She's the bigger fighter.
Way too much experience.
She just won a decision over Roxanne Modafferi, who's big, strong, physical. Like, I liked some of the stuff I saw in the video of Shakarova, but I just think this is a huge step up. I mean, you haven't really fought in anybody. You're 8-1. Lauren Murphy's a dog. I think she gets it done. She might even finish her.
Maybe. Yeah.
Next up, we have Phil Hawes and Jacob Malkoum. Malkoum is a training partner of Robert Whittaker.
The main training partner.
I think that's the only reason he's got this slot. I mean, how does a guy that's 4-0 that never fought in the UFC is on the main card?
But
pay-per-view.
But Alex Oliveira can't be versus the 12-0 guy.
100%.
This is weird.
It's super weird. Phil Hawes is gonna. I think he's gonna finish him in the first round. Honestly,
you think Phil Hawes wins in the first round?
I think he's just gonna be too quick, too explosive. Jacob, I mean, look, he's 4-0. There's not much tape on this guy. He is aggressive. He comes forward. He throws hard shots. Has some leg kicks, but he just seemed like Phil Hawes is just too athletic, man. The guy's looks like Megatron out there.
He's a freak of nature, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like That's why they call him freaking Megatron.
Yeah,
he impresses me, but yeah, I think he just overwhelms him, and even with his gas tank being as small as it is, I still think he ends up getting it done.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty. You know what this is? This is a Dana White likes him. Robert Whittaker's been pushing for his guy, so. So Dana goes, you know what? I'll feed him to somebody that I'd like to build up a little bit and see him want to run.
I kind of thought they did that to him in the Contender Series win. I didn't think that guy that he fought, his record was 10-3, but that Besthoff guy, I was like, what the hell is this guy even doing in here?
Like, I'd fight him.
Yeah. Well, no, I wouldn't go that far, but I'd let you fight him.
Hey, let me get in there. Calm down. I'd let you fight him.
So I think we're both on agreement that Hawes gets
Yeah.
it done.
Yeah, I like Haas.
Next up, Walt Harris and Alexander Volkov. I think we're on the opposite side of this one too, aren't we?
I mean, yes and no.
Dude, I love the Walt Harris story.
Like Volkov should win. I'm not saying Volkov shouldn't win. He should win. But no, I'm not betting on. I'm not picking against Walt Harris.
I mean, you gotta love the story.
Dude, I mean, or hate it. It's gut wrenching, dude. I'm not ready to be picking against Walt Harris yet.
Whoa, what are you doing over there?
I know George would fight me.
I know you were messing with your mic. It was loud sound.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Walt Harris, I just don't think I don't like his gas tank. I don't like his, not that I don't know if Volkov's going to take him down, but if it goes to the ground, Walt he's going to have to finish him in the first round, I think.
Yeah.
Which he has a shot.
If it's a 3-round fight, Volkov wins easily.
He had a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Jeez, George.
George is ready to throw down. Get that guy a fight, man.
Well, come to the gym, bro. Haven't seen him in a minute. I know he has a legitimate reason.
Did you tell George that the guy you're fighting is a Marine too?
No. I would like my teammates to cheer for me.
Oh, they are. I think they are.
I don't know. You were going to buy tickets from the other guy. So. Screw you.
Oh, co-main event: Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier. Oh, this is such a toss-up fight. Even though I'm on Cannonier, you're on Whittaker on this one, aren't you?
I'm actually pretty heavily on. I'm pretty convinced on Whittaker actually at this point.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you like? What do you like about it? What do you see in Whittaker?
I said it yesterday. We've been going back and forth a little bit. I started on Whittaker, and then I'm like, Cannonier is so explosive. He's this, he's that, and he, when was his last loss? I don't think he's lost at 185, right?
No, he's like 4-0 at 185. Cannonier.
Yeah,
I want to say he's 4-0 at 185.
3-0, 4-0, whatever.
Dude, and you saw what he did to Anderson Silva. Now, granted, this is Anderson Silva at the end of the road.
I'm not taking into.
He stops him with leg kicks.
Anderson blew out his ACL
because he kicked him in it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's his 43-year-old ACL. Dude, it's been compromised. But I know, George. I love you, buddy. But dude,
how does Whittaker win?
We've seen Whittaker do 10 rounds with the most explosive, scariest 185er ever.
He's not that scary to me, though. He hasn't been that impressive to me. He just
come on.
He looks scary, but he's not really done anything for me.
Go rewatch his fight with Paulo Costa, and go rewatch.
That was a good fight.
That was not that long ago. Go watch what he did to Chris Weidman. That's terrifying. I mean, he's terrifying.
I'm worried about Whittaker's chin. Is what I'm worried about.
Why? He's got knocked out one time in 6 years.
He got freaking destroyed by Adesanya, which is nothing. No, obviously Adesanya is one of the best pound for pound. But then he gets dropped by Till. If Cannonier hits him like Till did, he's still sleeping next week.
Cannonier is nowhere near. Cannonier is not on the same level of striking skill as a Darren Till.
That's true, but he's explosive.
Darren Till is very, very technically sound in his striking and very high level striker. Where to the point where people are saying they want to see him versus Izzy, right? Because they're playing a high level chess game there. And I mean, I don't think he's anywhere near Adesanya's level in striking skill for skill, but I mean, he's a very skilled striker. And that's what created that angle. Again, Whittaker gets hit and dropped. Whittaker gets hit and dropped by guys that can be precise and have good timing, not explosive power. He survived 5 rounds with Yoel. Until I see somebody put him away, other than Israel Adesanya, I'm betting on Robert Whittaker. He's lost 1 fight in 6 years. He's a monster, dude.
Yeah, I think I kind of think he's coming down to the end of the rope, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not betting on this fight because
I would have agreed with you if he didn't look so good against Till for 5
he
rounds.
did look good. That was a good technical fight. I'll agree with you there, but I just didn't like him.
And he's I don't know. I just think he's durable, and I think he's
No, Craig, I think Zach will agree with you. Chris is garbage right now. Chris Weidman.
Chris Weidman.
Can you believe he's calling out Izzy?
I can't believe he's calling out Izzy or Chimaev.
I mean, good for him, I guess. I mean, get a payday in before you retire. And I like Chris Weidman. Yeah. All right. So we're split on this one. I'm taking Cannonier. I'm not betting it, but I'm thinking Cannonier is going to win. But I'm not 100% sold on that.
I feel really good about Robert Whittaker winning that fight.
A lot of people are on him. I think I was the only one yesterday out of the four of us that picked Cannonier. He's got a little Diego Sanchez. What's the word for it? Did you watch the interview?
And he's crazy. So
man, like he's in a different planet, literally. Like, I don't know if he's on some DMT or hanging out with Joe Rogan.
With his crystals and stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, but crazy.
Fight Island, dude. Do weird stuff to you.
Main event. We've been waiting.
Do you want me to lay it all out again?
Well, I mean, we got to do the breakdown. I mean, I think everybody that listens knows you're on Gaethje and I'm on Khabib. How do you see the fight playing out? Like, what do you see? Do you see Gaethje? I was reading Sure Dog's breakdown of it. They think Gaethje wins by decision. Do you think Gaethje wins by decision?
No.
Yeah, I read a couple of their break. I don't know who's doing their breakdowns, but I was like, dude, they need to just hire us and get us on there because their breakdowns are freaking horrible.
That would be fascinating, though. I would guess they're saying that. Craig, you stop it.
I don't know if it's 3. I think it's more than 4 or 5, but I think it's Khabib.
I think this fight gets into the championship rounds. I really do. Regardless of who wins it. I guess it's the only path to victory for Gaethje in a 5-round unanimous decision is that you're saying that he lands the more effective power shots on the feet and stuffs a lot of takedowns. And then even the takedowns that Khabib gets, they're betting that Khabib can't hold him down and control him.
Which
with the takedowns.
We could see that for 2 rounds. I mean,
I just don't see it for 5.
I don't see it for 5. I definitely think first round, second round, you could see Gaethje. I just think the pressure is going to be too much. But if Gaethje can fight like he did, it's not going to be. I think a lot of people are thinking that this fight is going to be similar to that Tony Ferguson fight. It's not. Like I don't think it's going to be anything like that.
Tony didn't even really try and wrestle with Justin.
He didn't do nothing. He just stood there and was a punching bag.
This is where my belief. This is where my belief in Justin Gaethje and where I believe that Justin, why he has so much self-belief in himself, is Justin is right about a few things. There are things in this fight that Justin is correct about. And one, very importantly, is Justin is the first person that has been wrestling his entire life and is the first person that Khabib has fought that has wrestled his entire life like Khabib has wrestled his entire life. Not saying the same type of wrestling, but they've both grown up their entire lives wrestling.
True. Right? Like Khabib said yesterday, though, it ain't Russian wrestling.
Okay, but we're not Russian wrestling. We're fighting.
That's true. We're fighting. Yeah, Gaethje,
because so there's other elements to it. It's not Russian wrestling, but we are fighting. And we would both agree that Gaethje has a huge advantage in the striking department. Yeah.
I would think so. Yeah. I do think Khabib's striking's a little underrated.
Maybe, but Gaethje looked like if you
Did
talk
he look
about
that
if you
good?
talk about hands in the MMA at
Yeah.
that 155 weight class right now, you're looking at Conor, Poirier, Gaethje, right?
Yeah.
That's probably your of the elite guys. That's I mean, and to say Gaethje's on the same level of striking or is in the mix somewhere with somebody like Conor or Dustin Poirier, that speaks high volumes.
He was his striking did look super
Amazing
impressive.
against Tony.
Yeah, it
But,
was. But was that Tony's game plan making it look
no,
that good, or was
no, that brings me to my next point. That's Trevor Whitman.
Yeah. And I do love the relationship those two have. Like
that's controlling the cage and creating angles with your footwork, allowing those punches to land.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's where Justin had, wrestling and stuff, you have to be in front of a guy to shoot in on him. And if Justin isn't there and Eric can minimize the opportunities for when Khabib can shoot and can be causing damage or, he says the word carnage or whatever, when there aren't angles for Khabib to shoot.
Yeah.
We're going to see something in the first round, whether we know the way the fight's going to go.
Yeah. Gaethje's, he's on a 4-fight win streak. He's
game as what. Like
he's finished 3 out of the 4 in the first round. He faced James Vick, who's still sleeping, finished Edson Barbosa in the first round, finishes Donald Cerrone, and then he finishes Tony Ferguson. He basically made Ferguson quit.
There's these factors that make me believe that Justin, this fight can be different, because every time it's just eventually Khabib wears you down. And even Conor, who did a pretty good job with takedown defense, he did a pretty good job, right?
Yeah.
Would you agree? Whether you think he won a round or not or whatever, he did a pretty good job compared to Gaethje's other past opponents. Or Khabib's.
Yeah, he was stopping that takedown in the first round.
But I think Justin does a better job than Conor does at that.
I think so too.
So if you agree that Justin does a better job at that than Conor, then you would have to say logic would then tell you that he's going to have even more success than Conor did. Conor won a round where Khabib didn't really try and wrestle him, but because the other thing is too, it really does not matter how much you wrestle. Nobody can just wrestle at 100% for 25 minutes. No, nobody.
Khabib can.
No, he can't. No, he can't.
He can't.
Usain Bolt cannot sprint his 100-meter pace for a mile.
He's kept he had a
but you know what I mean? If you're going 100%, now he might be able to go 80% longer than anybody else, but nobody could go 100% versus 100%. So really what this comes down to, a lot of this comes down to is cardio, right? And puncher's cardio is different than wrestling cardio as well. And so if Khabib is spending a lot of energy trying to take Justin down, and Justin is successful in some of those takedown defenses, survives well, stays off the cage, explodes out, when they are on their feet, Justin has the striking advantage and the striking cardio, I believe, that gives him an advantage. I am not saying that Justin should be favored. I'm not saying he's gonna or anything, or that people should think that he should win. I just see that there is a path to victory for Justin Gaethje that I feel like he's being discredited on. That the other thing is too, just as important, Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman are supposed to fight. Kamaru Usman moves his training out with Trevor Whitman and Justin Gaethje. That's invaluable for Justin Gaethje. Kamaru Usman is the closest thing that there is to Khabib, probably as far as dominant wrestling.
Yeah.
Around that weight class and be able to, and Usman's huge.
Yeah.
So if Usman is wrestling Justin Gaethje, and Gaethje is confident in his ability to execute his game plan, it's because he's been trying to execute a game plan against Kamaru Usman in the gym.
Who do you think's? I mean, if you look at the last, let's look at the last 4 people that, because they're both in the last 4 fights. You've got Gaethje beat Ferguson, Cerrone, Barbosa, and Vic, and then Khabib is beating Poirier, McGregor, Iaquinta, and Barbosa. I mean, I gotta think Khabib's fought a little bit tougher.
I don't believe so.
You don't think so?
I don't believe so. That's the other thing that's interesting.
And I guess styles do make matchups. So I mean, he's fighting guys like a Poirier who's more of a stand-up, fighting McGregor more of a stand, which I didn't think McGregor had a chance anyways.
Yeah, I mean, but
he mauled Barbosa and Al Iaquinta. Like, he literally was all over both of those guys. Well, he's all over everybody, but
he's all over everybody. And Al Iaquinta did the best at surviving, right? A lot of this is about surviving. And Al Iaquinta did the best at surviving those first 3 rounds. And rounds 4 and 5, Khabib was not able to take him down anymore.
Do you think?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
I think he does. But I really think it's going to be, it's like you said, if Justin can keep the jab and the leg kicks, and if he can keep off his back, that's the key. Is like he said, he knows it. He's got to stay off the fence. He's got to stay off his back, because if he gets on his back, it's over.
The other thing that people need to understand is Justin Gaethje. I think everybody knows what they have to do to beat Khabib, but doing it and executing it is completely different, right? And his analysis is perfect, right? Yeah. Can't be on the cage. Conor knew he couldn't be on the cage, but it happened. You know what I mean? And I'm going to
backtrack a little bit on Gaethje winning a decision, because the more I think about it, he could win a decision. You could see him for the first 3 rounds, stopping those takedowns, pop shots. Maybe that's his path to victory, and maybe Khabib eventually gets to him. I don't know. In the 4th and 5th round, that's kind of what I think is going to happen. Is I think those first 2 rounds, I think you're probably going to see Justin winning those first 2 rounds.
Yeah, and then the other thing is too that I think that people are underlooking, and you just said it. That low calf kick and those leg kicks, Justin Gaethje has finished guys with that. Yeah. He's blown ACLs out with those kicks. He hits like a middleweight. I don't think that I don't think Khabib has ever fought anybody in the UFC cage that
Barbosa's got kicks.
Yeah, but here's the other thing too. Barbosa didn't throw very many kicks because you're afraid to get him caught.
He's afraid to get caught. Yeah.
I don't think Gaethje's afraid for them to get caught.
How is Gaethje going to react when he's on his back and he can't get up? How does it look for him?
It depends. Does he panic, or is he composed?
Yeah, I don't know. We've never seen him like that.
He has spent 17 seconds on the mat in his UFC career.
That's what's the funnest part of this. The best part of this fight is we haven't seen that, and we haven't seen Khabib not just maul people. So it's like,
and again, if Khabib comes out and mauls him for 5 rounds, and you're like, "Hey, I told you so," it's like, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah. I am just, all I'm trying to do is take Justin Gaethje at his word. Yeah. And I believe that Trevor Whitman is the best MMA coach in the game right now. And because of that, and because of who he's been training with and training at elevation and those things, I think that he has the tools to make it a competitive matchup. And if it is a competitive matchup or whatever, and you want to say Justin has a puncher's chance, yeah, Justin had, because of the way that Justin hits, he has more of a puncher's chance than Conor did.
I 100% agree with that.
So then, yes, I think that there is a path to victory for Justin Gaethje. Yeah. And yes, I'm going to put a little bit of money on Justin Gaethje, because I think it's good. And the other part of it, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
Who goes through their MMA career, 29 professional fights, and never gets dropped?
Yeah, he did get dropped in the Ferguson fight.
No, Khabib.
Oh, Khabib. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Khabib's 29. This is his 29th professional fight. At some point, I mean, Michael Johnson rocked him, kind of stumbled him, whatever.
Yeah.
What is Gaethje's like? At some point, Khabib's luck has to run out, and somebody's punch has to ding him a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think Gaethje is the type of guy that could do it. See, I think Gaethje's path to success is different than Tony Ferguson's was.
Yeah, because Tony Ferguson can fight off his back.
Exactly, right? So there's different elements to it where I like Tony Ferguson's chances as an underdog. And I want to make this very clear. I like their chances as an underdog.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm with you. The reason I lean more Khabib, and if I'm a betting man, I'm on Gaethje because I'm not betting on Khabib at almost 4-1 odds. But I like, he's going to be fighting for his father's legacy. I don't. People can try to downplay that and say that it's affecting him. It's not going to affect that guy. He's wired different. He's got Javier Mendez in his corner, who's one of the top coaches, and third. And probably one of the most important things, he's fighting in Abu Dhabi. He's fighting basically a home fight. This is like his home. Like it's a pro-Muslim crowd. Like there's not going to be a crowd, but he's basically around family. Like I think it's just a matter of do you think Gaethje can stay on his feet, or do you think Khabib gets him down?
I think too, that Justin Gaethje relishes in those types of moments. He even said, "I wish that there was going to be 100,000 people there booing me."
Oh yeah, I saw that. I do like that.
I that's why that again gives me the belief. That's what gave me the belief that Tony Ferguson could do it. I think that there's fighters, Edson Barbosa. You mentioned some of the other ones, Edson. I think Conor knew he was going to lose. I thought Conor was posturing a lot. It did not feel the same genuine confidence in the lead up of that fight. I felt like Conor was posturing a lot. And I think Conor knew that he was going to lose. And I think it was a different type of confidence, and it didn't feel genuine to me. I think that Edson Barbosa knew that he was probably going to lose. I think a lot of those guys had a bunch of doubts in the back of their mind. You give true serum to Tony Ferguson. He says, I beat Khabib. And I think if you give true serum to Justin Gaethje, he'd tell you the same thing. And that's where it is a little bit different.
I think so, Craig. I think this is going to be this is going to sell the most pay-per-views. This is going to be.
It's not bigger than Conor Khabib.
No, not. I think it's going to sell more pay-per-views. I bet.
No,
because Khabib elevated his status with that Conor fight. He's just gotten more and more people following him. Obviously, he's had a huge following with the Muslim. And Dana White's already said it's already it's trending to be the biggest pay-per-view.
That would be fascinating.
I mean, I go back and forth. I mean, sometimes I like a little bit of animosity, and I like seeing them.
I think there's a healthy amount of animosity there.
But I like that these two guys they're all about business. They're respecting each other, and they're both trying to go out there and win. And I do like that.
And they both have the same manager. So that's part of it. Right. Man, did you hear Justin Gaethje say F Dana, F Khabib, F Ali and all their plans?
No.
That was pretty good.
I did not.
I'll find that interview and I'll send that to you. No, because they're talking about how Dana said that we have something big for Khabib after this, and everybody thinks it's the GSP fight. Maybe Dana snuck GSP onto Fight Island, and Khabib and GSP are going to have a stare down in the cage after. I mean, could you imagine? I mean, oh my gosh.
If you're Dana White, are you just not drooling at the mouth hoping Khabib wins this fight just because of that?
Oh my God, dude. I mean, but seriously, like, would you not put it past Dana White that if Khabib wins, that he had snuck GSP onto Fight Island undercover on a private jet, and Khabib wins and GSP is standing right there for their first face-off?
Yeah, that's.
I mean, there's
No.
enough noise there that I really believe that if Khabib wins, that I really believe that is Khabib's final fight in the UFC.
That's breaking every record.
Yeah, I mean that becomes
yeah, it's hands down the biggest fight.
and a bunch of people and Chael Sonnen even reported like GSP has done test weight cuts down to 155 already, and he says that doesn't mean he's hit 155, but he's probably gotten like fully hydrated down to like 164.
Well, we look too.
He does look good.
Looking at social media, he definitely looks like he's small. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this weekend.
But I like that Justin Gaethje's like, I'm going to ruin everybody's plans, including my managers.
I like it.
I like that chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, guess we can wrap it up, and we'll be back Monday to either gloat or eat a little crow.
I hope I'm gloating so much.
Oh man!
You know what? If Justin Gaethje wins, we're going to play the national anthem, and you're just going to sit there and listen to it because I was the patriot on this one, and I believed in America, and you took the Russian.
All right, do that. Do that.
Oh my gosh!
All right, thanks, George. Appreciate everybody watching. Craig, as always, thanks, brother. George, thank you. Appreciate all the love. See you guys.
Come train tonight. See you.
Go train. Later, guys.
Bye.